Hello everyone, this is Slavis290, and I'm here today to give you my thoughts on chapter 566 of Kingdom, entitled Tanwa's Choice. This chapter, just Yotanwa focused greatness really. From the lovely colour cover page depicting the King of the Mountains in all her glory and finesse, to the end where she slays Gorba like he's a bug. Just perfection. So, before giving my thoughts on the chapter, I'd say it's nice with this chapter to really get a chance to look at Yotanwa's full combat and martial prowess. We've had these hints from her statistics with her near 100 leadership and combat prowess to these teases about her having taken Enshi, this fortified way city, so easily, to the Battle of Kanyor, when saying that we're having to take down Sekyor, and of course her helping the Chin out at Sai and almost going toe-to-toe with Hawken. There's always been this hints and teasers about her true power and what she could really do if she were pushed to do so. And I think Hawa's done a good job in setting up the Quanwong and Shinsweiju as really formidable foes for her. It's interesting to have the Quanwong as basically another mountain tribe, or could they be more closely linked to the steppe horseman tribes, like the Zhongnu, the Donghu and the Yueshi, the ones that Shobunkun had mentioned when in conversation with Yotanwa and Sei. That was back in around chapter 150, God, I can't remember now, but the one basically introduced Riboku. And Kingdom's world building is very interesting in that regard too. It's been very good from the start. Remember, chapter 20, they introduced the Quanwong. Heki actually foreshadowed them, funnily enough. And of course, aside from the three horseman steppe tribes I mentioned, you have the Yue in the south, represented by Mutta, and Karin had the mercenaries who rode elephants and were elephant archers basically, and they were likely from Southeast Asia again, since that region has elephants. So Kingdom's done a good job in foreshadowing these various different ethnic groups, as political entities or tribes or foes in general who can be fought. There's still an expansive world out there, and it's always intriguing to think about the next foes that Chin could be fighting next. But nonetheless, into the chapter itself. So Yotanwa is stuck in this tricky situation. Already she was having to face off a much larger army of Gorbas, but then you have the triple threat now of not just Gorba, but you have Rozor's own army coming from the Quanwong home base of Liolo, and of course Shinsweiju and his own Zhao army, who haven't even seen much combat under his deputy Koson Liu. So Yotanwa here is just pincered completely, and it's really not looking that good for her. But as the narration tells us, Yotanwa was someone adept at portraying people's expectations. Heki initially didn't even think much of the mountain tribe's cultural and technological prowess, and he was proven completely wrong when he saw how vast and well engineered their city was, built into the mountains no less. And Yotanwa soon shocks Rozor and Shinsweiju completely through being very hard-headed and pragmatic, but also very set in following her own tactics and strategy as well. And in terms of Rozor here, he still hasn't done much. Given, Torque's performance, Gorba's performance, and by performance I mean they literally did nothing. They were pretty disappointing, scrubs really. I'm not sure how powerful he really is just beyond the intimidating appearance. Given the fact that, as Shinsweiju said, the Quanwong are people ruled through fear, through cruelty, savagery, and the fact that Rozor is undisputed leader of the Quanwong, speaks volumes about that. But aside from him, holding the hearts of his men hostage through fear and through their families, is he really that powerful in combat? We don't really know. But nonetheless, personality-wise, he is, as he says, he was wanting to flay Yotanwa anyway, but now he says he wants to flay her and then ravage her. Does that mean he's into necrophilia? I really don't know, I mean, we have obviously Boonen, and we have the younger brother of the King of Chu. I mean, God, that guy, just from what Karin said, I mean, and the images, I'm not going to get into that, but there are some really depraved people in Kingdom, shall we say. And yeah, wait, I didn't mention Kunki, but I mean, Kunki is more of like act of war as he does it. Kunki doesn't seem like the kind of person who's depraved in general. Or actually, what am I saying? He cut out people's eyes for sport. Okay, just ignore that. But anyway, the point is, compared to what Rosal wants to do to her, I mean, the Figo King saying he wants to, get in her pants really doesn't sound that bad by comparison. I mean, anyway, so the Quan Wong, get their war cries ready, and they actually bark as a nice detail. And in any case, Yotanwa's troops realise their dangerous position here, and they're just determined to protect Yotanwa at all costs. But nonetheless, Yotanwa isn't one to just sit back and die so easily. She knows how to act under pressure, take the most pragmatic decision. Now, there was a case, I'd have to look it up again properly, but I think it was during either the Battle of Deccan Plains against the Wei or the battle against Gimpo, where there was a strategy in which, while Qin was surrounded by a much larger army, there were gaps in the army's formation, and that was there deliberately psychological warfare, or reverse psychology. The Qin soldiers who were being, attacked think, we can escape easily. But of course, in doing so, they simply end up breaking the order and ranks of the army. It just collapses into a mess, and then they get ridden down by the enemy troops easily. Of course, the counterintuitive but best course of action is to keep attacking the core of the enemy army directly. And this is what Yotanwa does. And Gorba's as poker-faced as ever, but Shinsuiju, on the other hand, is genuinely shocked that she chose to take this course of action. Rosal's begrudgingly impressed, at least, but Yotanwa's living up to her own words, those objectives she had set to slay Gorba. She's setting an example for her men that she will do so no matter what. While Bajio and Shunmin are doing their best to help her, they never really needed to, as Yotanwa, as always, is like a one-man army. I just love it in 8 panels. Gorba has his one hand cut off, done, the next hand cut off, and his sword is lost, and then his head is gone. Just like that, Yotanwa slayed him so easily. That just goes to show, Yotanwa does live up to the title of Lord of Death, inspiring utmost fear and terror, and respect and love from her mountain troops. But the narration, as it lets us know, Yotanwa isn't going to be relieved just yet, because Rosal and Shinsuiju would now pursue her throughout the night and beyond. But nonetheless, what did I think of this chapter? It was short, but it was enjoyable. It's nice to just have the focus purely on Yotanwa here, for once we finally get a look at just why Yotanwa has these names, this prowess of hers is being shown off in all its glory. There's not too much else to say. I mean, even though Gorba has been defeated, as has Torque, Boonen is going to be the more tricky opponent here. He's got the most narrative significance for one thing, and ultimately he's tied to as part of Heki's own battle here, Heki and Gatali's personal battle here, whether or not they can reform the Mera tribe in time. I think we'll still focus on Yotanwa next chapter though, but ultimately we'll have to see what comes of Boonen, whether it's thanks to Heki and Gatali or not. I mean, of course, narratively, this front of the mountain tribe versus the Quan Wong is so important for Qin army's greater victory, their survival. When if we'll move back to Shin and Kai, I'm not sure, but this is definitely the most interesting one right now. But nonetheless, enjoyable chapter. Yotanwa is epic, and that's all there is. So give me your thoughts and comments if you have any. This is Slavis290, signing out.